So today I thought I'd walk you through the steps that is involved in making a very simple felt brooch. So this is going to involve a bit of free motion embroidery, which I'll go in depth into in another video, but for now it's very basic. It's only a tiny little bit, so if you're new to free motion embroidery, it's okay, you can handle this. The other alternative is, if you're not happy with doing free motion embroidery on a sewing machine, then you could look at embroidering it by hand. It's another option. Right, on different qualities of felt. Now, the felt that I'm using is your acrylic felt that you can buy in South Africa. You can buy it by meter in a fabric shop. I haven't seen it by meter in fabric shops in the Netherlands yet, but I'm sure it's available somewhere. I just have to find it. Luckily I brought some with me, so I've got a lot to play with. The felt that I have bought here in a craft shop was very thin, and this would not work for a brooch because it means that the little tufts of stuffing actually come through the felt when you're trying to make it. So crafting felt is fantastic for doing applique and that sort of thing. Anything that you just want the bright colors, fabric that doesn't fray, and that you can just stitch it down. It's not suitable for the kind of brooches that I'm making. This, you need a medium pattern. I've just done a very basic bird sketch. If you're interested in the pattern, you can send me a message in the comments and I will send you a direct link to the pattern. But otherwise, you can just draw a picture of a basic bird and work from that. So I'll show you how I go about making my patterns and then the rest of the steps involved. Pieces of cardboard, recycled, it doesn't matter what, as long as it's just normal cardboard. Right, so I cut out two at the same time on the outside of my lines. That gives me that little bit of extra space, just in case we need it. Now I take my main shape and just cut off that little tail piece there. And for this one, so that tail piece we can throw away. Second one, we want to make it, this is the pattern for the actual tail. So you give it a little bit of extra because it's going to have to tuck inside the body shape when we're sewing it. So do it like that. We decide which way we want the tail to go, up or down. I think for now we'll do it down. So I just put a little arrow on there to remind myself of which direction the tail is going to be going in. Then we've got the wing. So I'm going to just use the same piece of cardboard, make a wing shape. If we do it on the body of the piece of pattern that you're not using, then you can make sure that it's going to fit inside the body. It's just a little step, makes it a bit easier than doing it on scrap cardboard and having to make it bigger and smaller. So same for this one, I put a little arrow just so that I know which way or which direction my pattern is going. In this case, the arrow is going to be pointing down. So again, we just cut out that little wing shape. Right, I've got my pattern pieces ready. Now, we need to get our felts. So, let me show you the felt. Okay, so I'm going to make a little bluebird. I've got dark blue for the body, a lighter blue for the wings. Then we're going to do the eyes and the beak out of a lighter yellow, nice bright yellow color. For the legs, I'm just going to use a piece of colorful string. This you get in a beading shop. It's used for putting pendants on necklaces, that sort of thing. Basic, you get all different colors. For this one, I'm just going to be using a nice orangey color. Okay, so we take our body piece on our felt as economically as possible because felt's expensive. Right. Just going to draw around it. I'm using a white pencil. This is just an ordinary dressmaking pencil. Nothing special. The white just helps it show up against the color. Right. And for the wings and tail, we're only going to need one layer. For the dark blue, we're going to use 2 layers, but I'll show you that now. So this one. So for this, I'm just using a pen because it's nice and easy, and it shows up nicely. Okay. So that'll be my tail. That's going to be my wing. If you're not making a brooch, you're making something double-sided, then of course you'd need to do 2 wings, but we're making a brooch, so only. So far I have cut out the tail and the wing. Now I'm going to show you that with the body, I don't cut it out straight away. You leave it drawn onto the fabric, and you cut yourself enough fabric to make a double layer, but don't actually cut the bird shape out, because it's a lot easier to do free motion embroidery when you're working with a big piece of fabric as opposed to trying to use a little piece, and then when you're going to, especially with something putting like the little beak on, you're going to end up getting the fabric stuck inside the machine, and it's an absolute pain. So rather leave it on a big piece and cut it out afterwards. The advantage of felt being, of course, that you don't need seam allowances, so that speeds things up. For the beak, I don't really use a pattern for that. One can just take a little scrap of felt and make it fit. Because at the end of the day, it really is just a triangle. It's not a big deal. So again, for this one, cut it slightly bigger, if not exactly on the line, and that helps when you're cutting it out, makes it a bit neater. I'm going to do the little eye. I think for that I might just slightly orangier version of the yellow, just to give it a bit of difference. Again, I'm not making a pattern. That is basically what our little bird is going to look like. It's going to have its tail coming out there, it'll have its wing, like so, and then it'll have its little feet sticking out the bottom. Okay, right, I'm going to thread up my machine. Another little cheat that I do is if you don't want to be fiddling around with tiny little pieces of felt, then to do the little pupil in the bottom, in the middle of the eye, I just use a black permanent marker and just make that little spot there. Solves a lot of hassle, a lot of missioning. We're going to be stitching around it anyway, so you'll see now what I mean. Okay, so for the accent of the eye, I'm going to actually change to a black thread before I put in my blue thread. So I like to put a little piece of reinforcing behind my piece that I'm working on. That's just to help stop the fabrics getting trapped inside the machine. So for now we are going to go around the eyeball and just stitch the one side of the beak. You'll see now. So take those pieces off for now. You can overlap the interfacing because we're going to tear it off afterwards. Okay, let's begin. So I've set up my machine for free motion embroidery. I have an embroidery foot on the machine itself. I've got black thread in the top and bottom bobbin and top thread. I've left it on a stitch length of 2. I haven't dropped my feed dogs all together, as I like to have a little bit of movement in my bobbin. It helps to move the fabric around as I'm sewing. Depending on what type of project I'm doing, sometimes we drop the feed dogs all together and sometimes we do it like this. Okay. Okay, I leave my needle down in the thread, in the work. Lift up my foot Well, in this case I'll leave it down because it's easier to get to the thread with it down. Just trim off those excess threads. Okay. Now lift the foot to release the tension. Moving your thread out the way, but you don't need to cut it all together. You just want to make it so that when you do trim the threads afterwards, it's easier to get to that thread. I'm going to go around the outer edge of the eye now. So, holding my thread, my top thread away so it doesn't get trapped up in the bobbin. I like to go around 2 or 3 times to try and make sure that I've caught all the edges and give it a slightly thicker line than just the single. And you can of course just go around once. Then just make sure you've trimmed off. See now that we've stitched our eye in place. Now we're just going to secure the beak. I don't go all the way around the beak because we're going to be going around the edge in a few minutes. So for now we're just going to do this line of stitching over here. If necessary, use a pair of tweezers to hold your beak in place. Trim my starting threads. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same again. Make sure my foot is up. I'm going to do a little nostril for the bird. So to do that, I've made another loop of thread here. I don't know if you can see that. That's just to stop it all getting tangled up and to make it easier to trim at the end. Okay, decide where my little beak is going to be. My little nostril, sorry. So I've turned my stitch length down to a 1 just because I don't want it, to a 0 because I don't want it to be moving around too much as I'm sewing. Again, I'm going to just hold this little beak in place because it seems to want to be jumping up today. Okay. So my foot is down. My thread is being held out the way so I can trim it nicely after, and I've got my beak in place. So as you can see, it really is just a few tiny little stitches, and there you have the little beak. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to my blue thread. So for now I've been working in black, but I'm going to switch to the blue. The next step is to stitch the little wing in place, and then we're going to do the rest of our bird. I recommend you do that line 2 or 3 times to hold the wing in place, just because one line of free motion embroidery can quite easily come undone unless you're going to knot each and every thread. So to get around that, just go up and down over the same stitching line 2 to 3 times, and that way it will hold your threads in place. Okay, we are almost ready for the final step. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be cutting out the actual bird shape just on this layer. Then we will be working on this other side, the part that it's the other side of the bird, without cutting it out. So as you can see, I have left the interfacing in place and just trimmed the outside shape of the bird. So we'll put that onto our background felt. We'll put our little tail in place. So for this shaped tail, we can decide if we want the tail going up or the tail going down. In this case, I'll do the tail going down. So you can put that little extra bit, that 1/2 centimeter that we cut extra, make sure that sits inside the bird like that, and that the shape of the bird that you want is there. Okay. So remember, when you're stitching, you've got to keep this little wing out the way of where you're working. Okay. So I've got my wing pinned out the way, and I've got my little tail pinned into place. So we are going to sew, turn that around, from this side all the way around to that side, and leaving the bottom part of the bird open. So that's where we're going to put the feet in afterwards, and we're also going to stuff the little guy. Okay. Right, so we've trimmed off our little threads. Now we're going to trim around the outer edge, and then obviously being careful not to cut these guys, and then we'll put the feet and stuff our little bird. So. Okay, for the feet I like to tie little knots on the end of my string. This is completely optional, the string's not going to fray or anything. Well, this particular type isn't. It's a fake leather basically. I think it's made out of cotton, but they call it fake leather. Right. So there I've got my little strings. Let's make sure the feet are the same size. Okay. Now we take a little bit of stuffing. This is the normal polyester stuffing, nothing special. And we're going to, okay, and obviously don't forget to just either tear, or if that feels like it's going to damage your stitching, then just cut out any little bits of the interfacing that we used for support. Okay, make sure obviously to get some stuffing into the beak area. You want to have like a, so your stuffing tool is nice and firm, but not too stuffed. Okay, now we take our little feet and try and make the knots be pointing the same direction. So for that, I think we have to, now we just cut them in the middle, it's easier. Okay. Put the little feet inside the body. That. Decide on the spacing that you want between them. That sort of thing, that's all. Again, I'm going to just hold it in place with a little pin while I get my machine back up. Okay. Okay, now for that final little piece of stitching. We're just going to stitch those feet down and stitch the bottom of our bird closed. Okay, we've finished the basic stitching of our little bird. So now what we're going to do is put it back on. I tried for years using embroidery, using brooch backs, and didn't have much luck with that. So I have changed to using just ordinary safety pins. I find they just last longer, and just a lot more durable. So for this I use a normal needle and thread. I stitch them on by hand. It really doesn't take, so I've done 4 or 5 stitches into the little hole of the safety pin, and now we are going to just do some overcast stitches over the actual bar of the safety pin. And then lastly, just take a long stitch through to the edge here, and then I do some last securing stitches just through this hole on this top end here. Just 2 or 3, it helps to make sure the safety pin doesn't really slide about too much. Little knot to hide, to secure it all, sorry. Trim my threads, make sure all the little threads are trimmed, and there you have your completed bird brooch. I hope you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye.